name's Beetle, and today we're just gonna talk about the new Stardew Valley update because I think it's interesting. So first of all we know is the two new marriage candidates. So I can't really say much about anything else, but the marriage candidate, it's enough to talk about. So first of all, the female marriage candidate, or the woman marriage candidate, very predictable. It was Sandy. We all knew that. The male marriage candidate is Clint, and if you wrote out a list of every male character that is not already marriageable in the game, I would genuinely have put Clint below everyone, including adding a new character in terms of who I thought he was going to add next. And I think that's really interesting that he did choose to add Clint, because not many people like Clint. In fact, I would argue most people don't like Clint. I'm kind of in the middle. I don't like him. In real life, I would hate him, and I completely understand the people who despise him, especially women, because that makes sense. I only kind of understand the people who like him, because I think that he is not fully a bad person. He's not fully an incel. He's not fully creepy, but he is so close to it. And that's why I think this is so interesting, because you could truly only tweak a few little things, and I think it fixes everything, any issue I have with Clint. Obviously, it's not going to fix everyone's issues with Clint, because it's a very personal thing. I understand people will probably have met people like Clint in their lives and hate him because of that, and that's totally valid. In my opinion, the way I feel about Clint, I think he's creepy, I think he's weird, but he's not so far gone that I could never see him as a good person. I think there are so many times throughout the game where I'm like, this is just sad, this makes me feel bad for you. And I'm going through his Wikipedia. First of all, I've discovered that Clint has the same birthday as me, which I don't love, but that's okay. Winter 26th, which is, Christmas 26th. That's annoying. That's December 26th. That's my birthday. Anyway, one of the things that always makes me feel guilty is his birthday dialogue. If you give him a loved, liked, or neutral gift, he says, "I don't usually get birthday gifts. This actually means a lot. Thank you." Or if you give him a disliked or hated gift, he says, "Is this a birthday gift?" It's an interesting choice. Well, I appreciate that you remembered me anyway. That's nice. That's really nice. A nice thing to say to him. And for a loved gift, he will say, "Yes, this is exactly what I've been looking for." Or startup tea, he says, "You're giving this to me. I don't think I deserve it, but thank you." That makes me feel bad for him, because if it was just, "I don't think I deserve this," that's annoying. Like, I get it. That's how I feel about everything, but you can't just say that, because that's so irritating. It's going to make people not want to do that stuff for you. But the fact that he said thank you after really makes me feel bad for him, because it's clear that he really appreciates it. He really feels bad that he doesn't think he deserves it. And I think in those moments, when it's you and him and the player, I think you can feel bad for him. He can be really sweet. And when you give him something that he hates, he says, "This makes me depressed," which is very funny. So those are the parts where I feel bad for him, right? And then also sometimes when he's being depressing with his 3-heart event, he says he has terrible luck with women and he asks for advice. Immediately kind of strange, but not the worst thing ever. All the answers are fine, whatever. But then he tries to be normal to Emily, who he has a massive crush on, and he gets sad and gives up. And then when Emily and Shane end up talking to each other, he gets like really upset and says, "I'm doomed," which is, certainly a thing. This is the part where people really begin to hate him. I'm gonna pull up Emily's heart events too, because one of them I always think is very telling about his personality as well. is this? It's not that one. It's not that one. It's not that one. Right, clothing therapy. So there's clothing therapy, which a bunch of characters will put on outfits that represents them as a person. So Clint is apprehensive about the whole thing, but after she coaxes him to do it, he goes in, he comes out in a gaudy shirt, is exactly what it's called, pink shorts and a beret. And Emily says, "Oh, cute," which makes Clint really sad. Then he leaves. Emily, because this is her 8-hour event, Emily comes up to you with, like, romantic interest. Clint bursts in, saying he's too embarrassed, and then he sees what's happening, and he feels really awful. He makes some weird remarks about it, which I can't remember off the top of my head. It's like, "You win, congratulations," which is so fucking weird. And he leaves, and I feel like that's maybe the only one that I have. That's Emily's heart event. This Clint heart event is why so many people hate him. It's all the little things too, but this one especially. You find Clint watching Emily from the bushes. He says he's going to ask Emily out on a date and got as far as her doorstep before he heard her coming and dove into the bushes. And then he asks her out, and then she thinks it's not a romantic date and agrees to go with him, which is weird. And then there's some things here. The weather doesn't really matter to me. I typically stay near my shop year round, depressing hot. Then oh yeah, this one's weird. I should save up and buy a computer. Maybe I can find a girlfriend on the internet. What? Don't judge me. Not everyone is a cool and attractive, socially adept farmer, you know. What's a guy like me supposed to do? Weird. And then this one makes me feel bad for him. I'm only a blacksmith because my father pushed me into it. That's sad. At Ginger Island, he's got a lot of weird ones. I'm gonna put on my special red trunks. They're supposed to be really eye-catching. Oh no, I forgot to clip my toenails. What the hell? We're all at the beach, but I still feel so lonely. And then, if the player starts dating Emily, he says, "I heard that you and Emily are together. Congratulations." Doesn't sound that weird, but I feel like he probably says it weird, you know. Then Green Rain. It's situations like this where a person's true character is put to the test. I'll keep everyone safe. Weird. I feel bad admitting it, but sometimes I wish there was a real disaster. Suddenly to shake everything up. Not that I want people to be hurt, I just want to feel alive. That's weird. And then the next day, well, that was a dud, and here I thought I was finally gonna get my chance to be a hero. Oh well, back to the grindstone. Strange. Very weird. Then a few other festival ones are also weird. Flower dance. They said maybe not weird, but I don't like it. I wonder if Emily would dance with me. Just ask her. And then everyone is partnered up, and here I am alone once again. Oh well, I'll drown my sorrows with some of that sweet and tangy jelly. Okay, strange. Like, you feel bad for him, but also he's so weird. Then, oh, this one does make me sad. Dance of the Moonlight Jellies. I wore my special shoes tonight. No one noticed. That does make me sad. There was one more. Yeah, Festival of Ice. Emily started helping me without any provocation. Does that mean something? Gulp. Okay. And then the night market. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Maybe the mermaid show will calm my nerves. But what if they think I'm ogling? Gulp. Weird. Feast of the Winter Star. All these happily families, but for me, just another lonely year. I think that, the main issue is that he's just weird. It's a weird way to act. Like I know saying it all out, there's a lot of times you feel bad for him, but it's really, he feels like he is internally getting close to the point where he feels entitled to women being nice to him. He's not quite there. I don't think he's quite there, but I think he's getting close, and I think that's what makes him an interesting marriage candidate for the player, because with the player, he's normally not that weird. A lot of the worst things that he does is with Emily, player, he normally just makes you feel bad for him. So that's why I think it's actually going to be fun, for me at least, to try that out, because I think unless he gets worse, unless Concern Day makes him worse, then, maybe not. But I can't imagine him doing that, but I don't know if we can help him to not go further into that, incel rhetoric pipeline, then cool. If he does go further into it, I think that'll be weird. But that's why I think it's so interesting, because he starts out bad, and I'm excited to see if, how that'll go. Right, I'm also excited to see, is he going to change any of the current hard events? Because I started playing the game right after Shane and Emily were added as marriage candidates, so this is the first time I'm getting to see people being added. So I don't know, did Emily's hard events change? Did Shane and Emily's hard events change afterwards, or no? I don't actually know, so it'll be interesting to see that. Also, I don't know. I wonder how much will be changed, because I feel like, depending on how much is changed and how the relationship actually goes, this could be really interesting. Really, really fun. I think my opinion about Clint is, overall, I don't like him. I don't like him, but I think I could be persuaded to like him, and I think that'll be fun to see how well that'll happen. So definitely, once the next update comes out, we'll be romancing Clint, because obviously it's gonna be really crazy and fun. I'm excited to see his the hard events that get added. I think that'll be really interesting to see. It's also interesting that the leaks were apparently fake. There were some leaks that Hat Mouse was going to be a roommate, which obviously ended up turning out to be false. So that'll be interesting to see, were any of the leaks real, because I don't think they were. To be honest, none of them sounded real. If I'm being real here, I think they all sounded very fake, very mod-esque. Not that, he hasn't done crazy things in the past. Ginger Island, I never would have guessed. But, I don't know, none of the leaks seemed very real to me. But that's I guess, a brief summary of why people don't like Clint. Sort of why people do like Clint. And why I think it's going to be very interesting to see what's going on with this. I didn't get a live reaction to when it was announced, because I just sat there what? Because I would have bet money on it being the wizard. But Clint, I can't get over it. That's so strange. I cannot wait to see the hard events. Sandy's really cool too. Just, she's not interesting, She's a very kind girl from the desert and whatever. And I'll be interested to see other people marry her, but I have no interest whatsoever. And I think that adding a married candidate like Clint, it's gonna be fun, right? Because Shane is one of the most interesting marriage candidates. I do think that he completely messed up actually marrying Shane. When you marry Shane, he gets worse again, which I hate. He gets really bad. He gets back into alcoholism, even though his hard events are actively showing that he's getting better. His day-to-day dialogue and his bedroom and everything are imply that he is still drinking, which I hate. I hate that you help him get better and then he just goes back into it once you marry him. I do find it interesting that, really you shouldn't marry him, you should just continue being friends with him, but that's never communicated, and I also don't think that's on purpose. I think that he just genuinely didn't fix the dialogue for Shane. I would love to see that in a further update, because I hate it. But like Shane, I think Shane's the most interesting marriage candidate, and I think that it would be cool to see someone on that level who potentially won't end up in a worse place for having married you, which I think that's gonna be really interesting. I don't know, I have full faith that he's gonna do something fun with Clint. I just know that man was absolutely laughing his fucking so funny. I still can't get over it. But anyway, this was just a short little video to go over Clint, because I know probably a lot of you have never played Stardew Valley, have no interest in it. Not a lot of you, but I'm sure some of you. And I hate Clint, but I think this is going to be interesting and fun, and it's probably going to change a lot of people's opinions. For better or for worse, I don't know. Because obviously maybe he leans fully into it, right? In which case, I don't think it's going to be as fun. I play Stardew Valley to have a good time. That's why I never befriend a few of the characters. Like, I really don't like Pam. I really don't like Clint. I never really become friends with either of them, because they make me feel sick. But I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see, I guess. To see, can we make him better? Or, because I also hate that rhetoric. I don't think you should ever in real life strive to make someone better. If someone's gonna get better, first of all, they need to do it on their own. Somebody can help them, sure, but if it's hurting you to help them, don't bother. Nobody is worth that. Especially not Clint. Or any man like Clint. But it's a video game. And if we can do that, I think that'd be really fun, you know? I don't know, but I also understand why so many people are like, why the fuck did you do this? Because Clint is famously hated. Not many people like Clint. He's hated, and for good reason, as I have gone over already. But I don't know. I don't know, whoops, I just dropped a pen. I feel like I'm just repeating the same thing over and over again. I think it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited to see what he's gonna do with it. I'm really excited to see what the update has. I really wish it was out already, but I guess not. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, that's enough of rambling about Stardew Valley. Just in channel updates, I have recorded another Hobbit video, reading the Hobbit video that'll come out this Wednesday. And I recorded a gameplay video, played a full game, which will be out next Sunday. So, look forward to those, I guess. I'm gonna try my best to stick to every Wednesday, every Thursday. No, every Wednesday, every Sunday. I'm trying my best. But no promises, but I'm really trying. And yeah, I think that's everything I was gonna say. Overall, I'm excited, but I don't know, it could go really well, it could go really bad. I'm hoping it's gonna go well, but we'll see when it comes out. So that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you in the next one.